Okay, so let's talk about the 3 ways that the eyes can control the conversation. So we know that non-verbal cues play a really large role in how people are communicating with one another. So it doesn't take much to see the impact of people who are talking with their arms crossed and people who are nodding a lot in the conversation, or even a smile and a frown. We can see the impact that kind of non-verbal communication has on the conversation. But did you know that the eye gaze can have a similarly strong impact on how people are experiencing that conversation? So let's talk about the 3 ways that the eye gaze can control the conversation. So the first way is, number 1, if you have a particularly long gaze, you are inviting the person you're speaking with to continue talking. So if you think about a typical meeting scenario in the workplace, whoever is looking at the person talking, if you are looking at them and they finish talking, but you keep looking at them and everyone is looking at them, that's an invitation for them to keep going. So yes, please give us more. We're paying attention to you. You've got the floor. So a long eye gaze can control the conversation by way of inviting the person to continue talking. The second thing is the approval-seeking gaze. This one's really, really interesting. So again, if you're in a group of people, and you've just said something, and then you look to the person who has the most power in the room, other people in the room can tell that the person they need to really be talking to in the conversation is that person and not you. Because if you look really, really closely, what you'll find is that when people are having conversations within that larger group, they will continually be checking in with their eyes to the person with the most power. So if you're one of those people in the meeting, you want to be checking who is finishing what they're saying and then looking to someone in particular in the room, and you want to be directing all your stuff to them. And the third way that we can tell how eyes control the conversation is by the no gaze. And so the no gaze is what we call eye blocking. And peculiar thing, you might have noticed it in conversation. So you might be talking to someone and they'll be talking and they'll actually be saying things to you and their eyes are shut. And actually what they're doing is, for whatever reason that they're doing this, the impact it has on the people they're talking to is that it can stop you from interrupting, which is a very weird thing, because often when we are interrupting or when we are waiting to speak, we are waiting for the person to see us draw breath and make a physical motion as if we are going to engage in the conversation. But when you're talking with someone with their eyes shut, they just continue talking, and there's actually no way for you to signal that you want to come into the conversation. So it gives them the floor a little bit longer than they may otherwise have had. So that's 3 very interesting ways that the eye gaze, or lack of, can control the conversation. So I invite you, next time you're in a meeting, have a look at who's looking at who and what they're doing with their eyes. It will tell you a lot about the dynamics of the people in the room.